The problem of evil. The big questions number 25. If God is all-powerful, all-knowing, and perfectly good, why does evil exist? This single question has troubled theologians and philosophers for centuries. It is perhaps the most powerful argument against the existence of God. The philosopher J.L. Mackie stated the problem with brutal clarity in 1955. If God is omnipotent, he can prevent evil. If God is omniscient, he knows about evil. If God is omnibenevolent, he wants to prevent evil. Yet evil exists. Therefore, no such God exists. This is the logical problem of evil. A direct contradiction. Even if you soften the argument, the problem remains. The evidential problem does not claim a strict logical contradiction. It says, the sheer amount and distribution of suffering in the world makes God's existence highly improbable. Why would children die of cancer? Why do natural disasters kill thousands of innocents? If God exists, he seems either unable or unwilling to prevent suffering. Neither sits well with traditional theology. The most common response is the free will defense. God gave humans free will because a world with free agents who choose good is better than a world of programmed beings. But free will requires the genuine possibility of evil. Without that option, the choice means nothing. So God permits evil as a necessary cost of genuine freedom. This works for moral evil, the harm humans inflict on each other. But it fails for natural evil, earthquakes, diseases, floods that have nothing to do with human choice. John Hick proposed the soul-making theodicy. Suffering and adversity are not merely permitted. They are necessary for moral and spiritual growth. A world without hardship would produce shallow, untested souls. Only through struggle can courage, compassion, and wisdom develop. God allows suffering because it is the forge in which genuine virtue is created. Critics reply, surely an omnipotent God could develop character without so much agony? And what about suffering that destroys rather than builds? That crushes rather than forges? A related problem. Why is God hidden? If God wanted a relationship with humanity, why not make his existence obvious? Philosopher J.L. Schellenberg argues, a perfectly loving God would ensure that no one who is open to belief remains in doubt. Yet sincere, searching people do not find God. This non-belief is itself a form of suffering, and hard to explain if God exists and cares. Some philosophers defend a sophisticated position called skeptical theism. We should not assume our limited minds can evaluate the full moral calculus available to an infinite God. What looks like pointless suffering to us might serve purposes far beyond our comprehension. A parent causes suffering by taking a child for vaccinations. The child cannot understand why. Similarly, we may be too cognitively limited to grasp God's reasons. Critics counter. This reasoning would justify anything, including the most horrific suffering imaginable. Leibniz argued this is the best possible world. God chose to create this world precisely because it maximizes overall goodness. The apparent evils are necessary features of the optimal universe. Voltaire famously mocked this view in Candide, written after the Lisbon earthquake of 1755 killed tens of thousands. It seemed obscene to call a world containing such catastrophes the best possible. Here is what is philosophically honest to say. No theodicy has been universally accepted. Each response to the problem of evil faces serious objections. The problem remains alive because it touches something real. The contrast between what we hope the world to be and what it actually is. Atheists see it as decisive evidence against God. Believers often say their faith is deepened, not destroyed, by grappling with suffering. And many simply live with the tension, holding belief and doubt together. The problem of evil is not just a logical puzzle. It is a human wound. Every time we ask why bad things happen to good people, we are repeating a question older than philosophy itself. Philosophy cannot dissolve the pain, but it can help us think more clearly about what answers are available and what price each one asks us to pay. This is the big questions, where the questions matter more than easy answers.